Hey, what's up? It's Xtalio. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a full color conversion slash screen repair on a Verizon slash Sprint iPhone 4. This one's actually a Cricket iPhone, but that doesn't really matter because it's Verizon or Sprint. But anyway, I'm going to be doing it in dark royal navy blue. Here's what the finished product looks like. This is my iPhone 4S. Yeah. T-Mobile. But anyway, let's just get right into it. What you'll need, let's see, you don't actually need these, but I always use tweezers just because it's helpful. An exacto knife I'll show you what that's for later. Just pulling off the screen. A pentalope screwdriver, unless you have the older Phillips screwdriver screws at the bottom. And you'll also need a micro Phillips screwdriver and flathead screwdriver. You don't need the flathead screwdriver as much, but you need it for about 3 screws. And a magnet to magnetize your screwdrivers. Just take your magnet and then connect it to your screwdrivers, and it will magnetize them. This one's been magnetized for a while. Anyway, let's just get right into it. The parts over here. Here's your iPhone. I already took the 2 bottom screws out, but normally you just take those out, and then yeah, that's nasty. Simply slide the back up, just like that, and the back comes right off. This is also very similar to the iPhone 4S. So let's just get right into it. I'll adjust my iPad so you get a kind of better view. With your Phillips screwdriver, take the battery flex cable screw out. Take a flathead screwdriver, or in this case I'll use the tweezers, and simply just pull it out just like that. Now, if you can, try to keep away from using metal tools. Just use like a plastic tool or something to pop that off, but whatever. And the batteries don't always come out that easy. You have to kind of sit there and pry it out using something flat like that. Next, we will take this little shield off. There's 2 screws holding it down. That's where the serial number is. And make sure you don't lose that, because, well, that's your warranty right there. But of course this phone will have absolutely no warranty, because we're doing it in blue. Now, take your screwdriver, pull that up, pull it back, and kind of an L. Now we're going to take this top shield held down by 5 different screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This isn't the most detailed, well, probably kind of detailed, but this isn't the best tutorial. Some of them are done a little bit better, but yeah, whatever. Most of them are always sped up, and it's kind of gay, pointless. Alright, now that those 5 screws are off, we can take our tweezers. Just put that right there. Now we're going to go ahead and take this little shield that's holding a coaxial cable. Take that out. Set it down. Now the way I always set all the screws after taking them out is exactly how they are in the phone, so I know exactly where to put them back. And just going to lift that up, and it comes right out. Now, we're also going to take the little antenna adapter located right above the battery connector, and it doesn't really matter what order you go in. You can go in any order you want. That's what I do. Doesn't really make a difference to me. We're going to take our dock out. There's 2 screws holding it down, one here and under the dock flex cable, and one on the other side. Well, it's over there. Can't miss it. Just put it down there. Put that off to the side so you can kind of see the phone a little bit better. There's also this little black thing that the screw screws down. So keep that with that screw. Make sure you don't lose it. It's not a huge deal if you do lose it, but I mean, still, keep it with it. We're going to take the antenna coaxial cable out, and it's wrapped around two little prongs just right here. So just kind of guide it through there. And there's one more screw right above the vibrator motor, just right here. Take that out and set it just to the left of those two battery and antenna screws. Now there's about 3 hex-like screws that we're going to take out with our flathead. There's one here, in the middle of the board, and right up here at the top. We're just going to take those out. Should come right out. Now it's kind of obvious why I magnetize my screwdrivers. So they just stick up just like that. Now we're not done with the board yet. First we got to disconnect all the cables. There's 3 cables controlling your power button / proximity sensor, your volume buttons, mute buttons, and all that stuff. There's 3 cables just right here. So simply, you can take your tweezers, flathead screwdriver, just take them out. Just be really careful you don't mess anything on the board up. That's the worst thing you can do. The back, take your, here's your digitizer cable, lift that up. Here's your LCD cable, lift that up. Now if your screen is actually cracked or shattered or anything, you don't really have to be careful with those 2 cables. But if you do have a perfectly good front assembly like I did on my 4S, kind of want to be careful with those so you can reuse them or resell them later. Now we're going to go ahead and take out your camera. Just lift up the flex cable right here. Put that off to the side. There is one more screw right here holding down the board. Take that out. Set it off to the side. Take your tweezers and take this little gold adapter, or whatever that's made of. Let's say a cheap gold or something like that. Set that off to the side. Now with our coaxial cable right up here at the top, we're just going to lift that out. Now we can take our motherboard out. Just like that. We also take our dock out. Do that just like that. Take your flathead or exacto knife. Be careful with the vibrator motor. But just kind of get under it and then just lift it out. Alright. Now normally there's 6 screws, 3 on each side of the phone. I actually took these 3 out already to put into another phone that didn't have them. This is just one of my store's phones. Just going to put those back later. But you would take those 3 out along with the 3 corresponding screws on the other side. And there's 1 on each corner. This is holding down your front assembly. So let's go ahead and take those out now. The 6 of them on each side of the iPhone, they are all the exact same screws, so you don't have to keep them in any specific order. Just kind of keep an eye on the phone with the camera. Otherwise, it's pointless to do the tutorial. So, yeah, with these side screws, I just kind of put them all in the same pile. Yeah. Now taking out the corner screws. Now there will be a little black thing just right here, just covering the screw. You can preserve that if you want for warranty reasons, or you can just take that out. Now these ones I actually do put in order when I take it out. So, because I don't want to have any issue putting them back in. Okay. Oh, now one thing I did forget to mention is that you would need a heat gun. You can use no, it's not even going in. You can use a hairdryer if you want, but I wouldn't personally because they suck and they take forever. But anyway, now that the screen should be free, I'm going to take my heat gun, which I forgot to plug in before the video. But that's probably a good idea anyway. Okay, because I didn't show on camera exactly what I did. I just heated up this part, all the four corners on the front. I'm going to go ahead and take my exacto knife. Now I use this especially if I want to preserve the front assembly. That way I can just get in between the bezel and the actual frame of the phone without damaging the plastic. Some other technicians disagree with this method because they say it damages it, in that case if you want to reuse it. But I heavily disagree. Them using like a screwdriver or plastic tools actually usually ruins it. Another thing that I normally like to do is take the little sticky stuff that holds the front assembly after you take the screws out, just because it just adds bulk and can make your new parts not sit flush. But we're going to go ahead and change this button out for the blue one because we're doing a full conversion on this. So on the back right here is your home button connector. Just simply lift the little, I don't know if you can see that, this little thing right here that locks it in place. Then just lift that home button cable out. Goes right out. There it is. With your exacto knife, be very careful unless you got another home button flex cable, and just kind of get that exacto knife behind the flex cable and just get it out there. Alright, now we're going to take our front assembly. Usually when you get these from sellers, it's usually with the front assembly. If not, then that sucks. You have to order a button. Put that over there. Stupid sticky stuff. Stuck my fingers. Take that off. You can easily just fit this on there because it's fitted in the center of the home button itself. Just kind of place that in there. Kind of line it up so it's even the way it should be. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is just guide that right on through there. And this may be difficult for some people, but you just need to guide that flex cable back to where it goes. If you need to use like tweezers or whatever, then I'll go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to do that too. Because it's not going in, little bitch. Yeah, I know the lighting's not the best for this video, but yeah, fuck it. Something to do at 4 in the morning, I guess. Okay, that's in there. Gonna go ahead and close that little clasp. Now, like I said before, I usually take off this adhesive, the double-sided sticky tape. So I'm just gonna go and do just that. Because usually with shattered glass, there's little shards still stuck to it. And honestly, the iPhone 4 does not need double-sided sticky tape to hold down the screen, because there's 10 screws holding it down in the first place. Stupid sticky tape. And you can also reapply sticky tape, because sometimes sellers actually include that with the purchase. This one, I didn't get it, but I do have double-sided sticky tape that I'm just not going to use because I don't like it. Okay. Stupid sticky tape. Alright, now that sticky tape's off. Now there's two things you want to keep from your original front assembly. One, the little camera adapter thing, and two, your ear speaker cover. So first we're going to go ahead and just kind of pop off the adapter with the exacto knife. I guess they both just came off because how the glass was shattered. We go ahead and just stick this right around the camera, and it's fitted, so you just kind of have to twist it around until it goes back in, just like that. We're also going to take the ear speaker cover, and since it's kind of already off, came off just nicely, we're just going to go ahead and place it right over the ear speaker hole thing. I recommend actually using tweezers for this, just because it's better. But it's in there, looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and put the front assembly back onto back on here. I think this is probably my longest tutorial. This is the only one that I actually fucked with the front. Okay, now just go ahead and make sure that your home button is actually flush. It actually clicks the way it should. Okay, so looks good, I guess. Now we can go ahead and start putting the screws back on it. Okay, good. Move those stupid things. I always start off with the corner screws, putting them back in. Now this top right corner screw, I've seen a lot of amateur technicians just not put that back, just because they figure it's not worth putting the time or effort into it, even though it doesn't take very long to do. Make sure the corner's flush, so we're good. On to the next one. The rest of them should be fairly easy to put back in. Just gonna hold the frame down on a flat surface and screw away. Gonna move my iPad a little bit back. if you can remember where the screws go, I mean, if you put them in order like I do, then the reassembly should be easy. I mean, really it's just going backwards from how you put it back together, or took it apart, I mean. Alright, just go around the bezel, make sure everything's flush. So far everything looks good, so I'm just going to go ahead and screw down the sides. Now what I like to do is I like to just take the screw itself, put it on the screwdriver, then take the washer and just put it right on top of it and screw it back in there. I'm going to put the other screws that go on this side. Well, it doesn't matter what side they go on, but I'm not going to put the screws in right now, but I'm going to do that later since I don't have them right here with me. And I'm just going to go get up and look for them. Alright, now we got all those in, except for these ones, of course. We're going to take our dock assembly, or our speaker, whatever, mic assembly thing, and we're just going to go ahead and set that in there. Make sure these prongs are sitting behind the LCD tray holder thing. There's 4 of them right here. Make sure those are sitting down behind it, and we're going to go ahead and take a screw that goes on the right and screw that down. Okay, it in there, can't really see it, and there we go. We're going to take our tweezers and that little plastic thing that the one screw holds down on the other side. You're going to take it just like that and just drop it in there. Take the screw that screws down and just get it in there and screw away. See, we're going to take our vibrator motor and just place it exactly where it goes. There should be like an outline of where the sticky stuff that holds it down is. Just kind of get it lined up, get it looking straight and stuff, that way it'll actually work. Because if you don't, then of course it just doesn't work. I mean, it's simple. Now we're going to go ahead and take our motherboard, pull the antenna coaxial cable back. If you can, just kind of fold this battery tab down, pull the Hermes cables back, and just kind of guide it through there underneath the coaxial cable. Hold the back of the motherboard up, that way you can kind of press down on the front. And just kind of guide it forward until it actually seats down. Now you do want to be careful not to damage any cables when you do this. So before you actually screw everything down, just make sure that everything's on top of the motherboard. Like this coaxial cable, it's just not on top of it. So with this part of the motherboard still sticking out, because it will be sticking out, take your bottom this little guy, this little fat ass screw. You use the what is it? The flathead on earlier. Just gonna screw that down there. The reason for that is because the back is sticking up, so might as well take advantage of that. And because that screw is actually kind of hard to do when it's actually seated down. Take your middle fat screw, screw that in there. There should be no problem with that at all. Take your top one and just screw that in there. Again, this one should be no issue at all to do. We're going to take a little gold camera adapter thing and just kind of place that in there over top of the screw hole. Take the screw that holds that down and screw that bitch in there. Take your camera, put the camera in there. Just gonna seat that down, and then seat the flex cable. Seat these 3 flex cables down. See, this long one right here goes on last. I can take your Digitizer and LCD cables. Be somewhat careful with them. You don't have to be, overly cautious about it, but just kind of seat them in there. Then seat your Digitizer cable down. Take the coaxial cable that's up here by the top right. Just gonna seat that down. Alright. Now take your top shield and there's 2 little prongs here at the bottom. Just kind of guide that into the logic board shield. And you're going to want to get this little guy that hooks under there at the top. You want to get it behind the flex cable. I don't know if you can see it, but just right here there's a flex cable. Get this little hook right here behind that flex cable. And I normally do the screw to the far right first, and just go down from there. You see that? Okay. Alright, now take your little antenna shield thingy right here and just seat that right back in there and screw it down. Take your dock flex cable, just kind of seat it back in there. Oh, actually no, my bad. Don't do that until you've put this little screw that goes right above the vibrator motor in. It's not a huge deal if you don't, but I mean, still. It's a screw that goes in the phone. Now I can go ahead and seat that dock flex cable. Take your serial number shield, put it right over top. Take your 2 screws, and we're going to screw that down. Take your antenna adapter. Place the top left edge right underneath the dock cable, and take the smaller screw and just go ahead and screw it down. Now, a lot of time what I do is I just kind of hold it so it stays straight. So you can make sure it's straight. If it's not, unscrew it a little bit, realign it. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, now we can put our battery back in. Just like that. Actually, you know what? I skipped a little bit. I forgot to put the coaxial cable back down. And you do that before you put down the antenna adapter. If you followed that step, I apologize. Yeah, guess I'm just used to doing GSM 4 and iPhone 4S, where the cable's more over here. And just kind of get that coaxial cable around those two little prongs. Make sure that's down. Now take your antenna adapter and just put it right back down there. Okay. Again, just make sure it's straight. Now go ahead and screw down your battery. And before you put it back or put the back on it, just kind of wipe off all your fingerprints, whatever, just to make sure, just to make it look clean on the inside. I normally do this mainly if I'm doing an official color, just to maintain warranty. Of course, this won't maintain any warranty because it's colored glass, unless I change it back to like white or whatever. So you put the back on just like that. Alright, let's let it turn on. Waiting on the iPhone 4. Okay, so obviously really bright. Digitizer responds pretty decently. And no issues. Anyway, if this tutorial helped you out at all, go ahead and comment, rate, subscribe in the box below. Here's the back. Oh, and yes, by the way, these parts were actually ordered from Hong Kong for 37 bucks for the whole kit, front and back. It took about a little less than 2 weeks to get here, which is quite a long wait, but still 37 bucks, not too bad. For my iPhone 4S, it was roughly $53 in the US for the front and back. Let's see, a few YouTube sellers that I've seen, well, have their own websites, they advertise on YouTube, that I highly recommend against are places like Ztron or I Unlock USA or something like that. Or I have no idea what they're called. Something with USA in his name. I think Unlock USA is like a YouTube or a eBay seller or something. But yeah. These full kits are usually about, well, these ones in Hong Kong are $37. I got this full kit for $37. This one, $53 in the US for iPhone 4S. But like I said, if you like my video at all, or if you want links to a few of these sellers that I'm talking about, go ahead, comment, rate, subscribe in the box below. Follow me on Twitter at 6talio, and yeah, I'm out. It's like what, 4:30 in the morning? I don't know what fucking time it is. Okay, I'm ranting now. Good night. See ya.